You're listening to the Options Insider Radio Network, the home of the Options Podcast. For more quality options programs, visit theoptionsinsider.com or search for Options Insider Radio Network in your podcast provider of choice. Listeners can also access all of our programming through our mobile app available in the iTunes and Google Play stores. Select programs are also available via live stream at mixlr.com/options-insider. That's mixlr.com/options-insider. Don't forget to follow along with your favorite programs and submit your own questions for the hosts at twitter.com/options, stocktwits.com/options, facebook.com/The Options Insider, or via questions at theoptionsinsider.com. The Options Insider Radio Network is sponsored by Fidelity Investments. Fidelity's Option Trade Builder tool can help you confidently build an options trade in 3 simple steps. Just choose a strategy, select a contract, and then review the benefits and risks of the trade. Learn more about Option Trade Builder at fidelity.com/options. Options trading entails significant risk and is not appropriate for all investors. Certain complex option strategies carry additional risk. Before trading options, contact Fidelity Investments by calling 800-544-5115 to receive a copy of the characteristics and risks of standardized options. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC, member NYSE SIPC.
Join us now for the expert source for inside information on the options markets. It's time for Options Insider Radio with your host, Mark Longo.
Welcome back to Options Insider Radio, the interview program here on the old network where we welcome on guests from throughout the world of options and derivatives and proceed to pick their brains for the benefit of you, the listener. My name is Mark Longo from the OptionsInsider.com, as well as, of course, the ever-exciting, at least we hope so, Options Insider Radio Network. If I sound a wee bit different, it's because I'm not coming at you from our studio in Chicago. No, I'm coming at you from scenic and quite unseasonably warm. It's Washington, D.C. for the Securities Traders Association Market Structure Conference. Say that 5 times fast, listeners. And as always, whenever we attend these events, we like to bring you a nice slew of guests for you guys to listen to. And next up is a newcomer to the program and indeed to the network. He is Bruce Morris, the new CEO, I guess newish CEO over there at Tabb Group. Bruce, welcome to the program.
Well, thank you, Mark. Appreciate you having me on.
And as we are wont to do with all of our first-timers, why don't you go ahead and give our audience a little bit of an overview of your background and how you found your way to becoming the CEO of Tabb Group.
Okay. So, newish, I guess I started in February of 2018. So it's been almost a year and a half. And I came to this position primarily because of my role in financial media. And if I take you back to 1987, we launched a biweekly newspaper called Financial Services Week that was bought by the Thompson folks, and they had me run a small little portfolio of assets, media assets that they had, some wealth management, some private equity, some technology, and really that's how I got to know the folks at Tabb. I got to meet Larry because of my affiliation with Security Traders News and with Traders Magazine.
Old school Traders Magazine.
And I'm sorry, it wasn't Security Traders News, it was Securities Industry News, and we used to call it SIN.
My first ever options column was back in Traders Magazine, way back in the day before Options Insider and all this other fun stuff even existed. That's what lured me to the dark side, I like to say. I was still a trader then, and I just got slowly lured to this content thing by doing that column because it was kind of fun, and people seemed to like it, and here we are. All those years later, Bruce, I blame that for luring me to the dark side. But we never had Larry on, but we had other Tabb folk on in the past, most recently Mr. Rhodes over there. But I'm sure a lot of our listeners may not be familiar with what it is you guys do. So give us a quick overview of Tabb Group, what it is you guys do.
Sure. Tabb Group does a lot of things. We are primarily a research and consulting business, and Mr. Rhodes, Russell Rhodes, is the head of our derivatives practice, and would imagine that's why he was on your program probably before he even joined Tabb.
Oh, yes. We've known Russell for many years. He was our regular contributor from the SIBO every week on our volatility show for a number of years.
So Russell heads up that practice and looks at everything and anything from the world of derivatives. So from a research standpoint, we publish regular reports, surveys for our subscribers, but we also do consulting in those fields too. And so Russell will do outreach programs where he'll actually do a specific custom research program for clients, help them understand new markets that they're looking at going after, as well as competitive and technology and compliance issues that they need to consider. We also have a free content platform called Tabb Forum, which a lot of people see because of the conferences that we put on and a lot of contributor research and content that we post on that platform as well. And then we just started a whole new business that Russell is also involved in called Tabb Training, where we do classroom training. You can attend live here in New York, or not here, we're here in Washington, back in New York, or you could stream it live, or you could download it and take it on demand.
You mentioned conferences. Maybe we'll start there. I know you guys just had a big crypto event. Is that a hot new area for you guys? And what were some of the interesting takeaways and developments from that conference? So
crypto has been an ever-increasing popular content area for us. In fact, it's part of we have 4 different practice areas: equities, derivatives, fixed income, and fintech. And crypto, currencies, and all the related technologies that go along with that, distributed ledger technology, the blockchain, is part of that fintech practice. So each of our practices has an annual conference. Last year we launched the Crypto Connection as part of our fintech festival, and it was so successful that we decided to spin it off as a separate event. And last month, not quite 300 institutional crypto participants across the whole ecosystem, the exchanges, the custodians, all of the different players, the investors, came to New York, and it was a great event.
And you mentioned the different practices you have: equities, derivatives, fintech. What's the hot thing right now? Where are you getting the most inquiries about? Is it the crypto subset of fintech? Is there something else? What's lighting up the Tabb tape over there these days?
Well, you know what? There's always something going on in each of those practices. And, in the fixed income world, we're seeing the whole electronification of trading platforms, and where the Treasury markets are very familiar with that, but the corporate markets only represent 20% of their trading activity on electronic platforms. Most are over the phone, and that we're seeing a big increase there. There's a lot of regulatory issues going on in the equities world. Larry is much more capable of speaking to those, but that's keeping us busy on that side of the business. Crypto definitely is important in our fintech world, but also artificial intelligence and alternative data and machine learning, the cloud, are all important areas that we're looking at on the fintech side of the business.
What's it like for you, having migrated from the world of media to this research with a growing dose of media built in there as well these days?
It's good. And the best part of the migration is I used to have a lot of print publications, and
very sexy in the 21st century there, sir.
Not quite. Not quite. But today it's more about creating communities. And I mentioned before Tabb Forum, which is our free media platform. depends on contributors to send us content, whether it's commentary or educational. We accept anybody's ideas from a content standpoint, as long as it's not overly promotional and is something that our viewers, our 36,000 members, would like to take advantage of.
So what is it that brings you down here to sunny STA? Obviously, outside of talking to me.
This weather is crazy. And it's supposed to drop down like 40 degrees over the next day. Now, this is a really important event, and it is an event that I've been attending for, I would say, back to 1990, might have been my first one, because of Traders Magazine. And Traders Magazine was an important media publication in the world of, and in fact was a partner. We were their official publication for a long time. But the reason we're here is because this is where all of our clients are here. We're learning, what's going on as far as the industry is concerned. It is really an annual gathering that's critical to our equities practice.
I know this is, like you mentioned, an equities-oriented event, but Russell's been looking a lot more at the futures and futures options side of the fence and a lot of what's going on in the CME and related worlds. Is that a growing area of focus for you guys, more on the commodity and futures side of the spectrum?
With Russell coming on board, we're starting to expand that practice. It was pretty much a listed options practice for us, but he's starting to spread his wings and look at all the different components of the derivative space for us. But we do have a derivatives conference that we partnered with ISDA and created a conference called DerivCon last year. So that's an important component for us as well.
Is that going on again this year?
I hope so.
No dates yet?
Probably we don't have official dates yet, but we're hoping for late February.
I like the name DerivCon. I like it.
Well, it used to be a CEFCon. I don't know if you're familiar with that whole...
CEF's got really hot there for a couple of years, right? They went from, 35 or more down to a handful.
I think there are 3.
Yes, there are 3 left.
Or there are technically 4, and 2 are owned by the same company.
Well, Bruce, I'm glad we can get you on to do a little bit of a catch-up of what's cooking there in the land of Tabb. Now, whenever I have Russell on, I can set him straight and say, no, Bruce actually said this. I always enjoy doing that. But before we wrap up here, maybe there's something you forgot to mention, or maybe you want to leave our audience a little bit of a hint, a little bit of a tease of what's coming down the pike from you guys and your team over there at Tabb, sir. Now is the time. The floor is yours.
So, I would say, not want to take advantage of this opportunity. If you're not familiar with Tabb, come to our paid research site, tabbgroup.com, or our free content site, tabbforum.com. We have a fintech festival coming up in November, on November 13th in New York. And here's something I could promote. We started an award called the Novas, which looks at cap markets, technology firms that are both disruptive and innovative in the capital markets. And if your company is 3 years or less in age, feel free to nominate yourself for the Nova. We have a slate of judges that are just waiting for your nomination forms. And what we do is we take the top 7 finalists. Each of those 7 get a chance to do a presentation at FinTech Festival in New York. And then the crowd, the audience, will vote for the Supernova winner. So it's a lot of fun. It's a great promotional opportunity for the new companies that are coming into the space. And in fact, a couple of companies were just bought. Since now we don't want to take credit for both. Prattle was one of them,
yes.
And they were bought by LiquidNet. And trying to think of the there was another company that was bought as well. So no guarantees that your company will sell to someone in the audience, but it was a great event.
And if they want to register for that, would they go to the Tabb?
They would come to the Tabb Forum on the events. You'll see the FinTech Festival, and in that FinTech Festival, there's a link to those nominations.
So you have festivals, you have cons. Can we look forward to maybe a soiree, a gathering, a bar mitzvah sometime in the near future over there in Tabland as well?
No bar mitzvahs that I know.
Well, Bruce, I'm glad we can get you on, and we'll look forward to seeing how the cons and the festivals and all the other fun initiatives you guys have at Tabb Group, how they all unfold in the marketplace in the coming months.
Thanks, Mark.
You're listening to the Options Insider Radio Network, the home of the Options Podcast. For more quality options programs, visit theoptionsinsider.com or search for Options Insider Radio Network in your podcast provider of choice. Listeners can also access all of our programming through our mobile app available in the iTunes and Google Play stores. Select programs are also available via live stream at mixlr.com/options-insider. That's mixlr.com/options-insider. Don't forget to follow along with your favorite programs and submit your own questions for the hosts at twitter.com/options, stocktwits.com/options, facebook.com/theoptionsinsider, or via questions at theoptionsinsider.com. The Options Insider Radio Network is sponsored by Fidelity Investments. At Fidelity, you'll always get a great value for your options trades. And with powerful investing tools that provide clear next steps, plus independent research and a wide range of investment types, we can help you make better trading decisions. Learn more about options trading with Fidelity at fidelity.com/options. Options trading entails significant risk and is not appropriate for all investors. Certain complex option strategies carry additional risk. Before trading options, contact Fidelity Investments by calling 800-544-5115 to receive a copy of the characteristics and risks of standardized options. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC, member NYSE SIPC.